Facts, we woke up this morning to be at one with tragedy as an unspecified number of students have been abducted in Niger State. The Niger State Police Command confirmed the abduction, which took place at St. Mary's Private Secondary School in Papiri, a Kwara local government area of the state. The Niger State government is condemning the abduction of pupils from St. Mary's School, calling the incident deeply saddening and avoidable. It says the exact number of abducted pupils is still unclear as security agencies continue assessments and gather verified information. According to the government, the school violated a directive to shut down boarding activities in the area after intelligence reports warned of rising security threats. The Niger State government on Friday condemned the kidnapping, saying the incident occurred after school reopened without government clearance, despite a prior directive suspending boarding activities in the area. Security agencies have now launched full search and rescue operations, while government says it remains in constant communication with them. Residents and school owners are being urged to stay calm, follow security advisories, and support efforts to secure the safe return of the pupils. I thus say we might be in the very worst of times in our great nation. I don't know of any time that was worse than this. Maybe there was, but now is the time that we're feeling this particular pain. We've had 3 attacks in 1 week. 3. On Monday, it was Kebbi. I think Wednesday was Kwara. And this morning, Niger. And the amazing thing about this is, of those 3 incidents, only 2 people made it out. The 2 girls that escaped. The only people that are safe from those 3 incidents are those who decided to help themselves. The girls who escaped. The other girls are still with the abductors. Those from Kwara, as you would learn in the second headline, there's already a bounty on their head. And as of this morning, some girls were abducted in Niger. We don't even know how many they are, because security agencies in Niger and the state government are still trying to confirm. So if those 2 girls, after getting better, decide to host a masterclass on how to help yourself, people will pay premium. Because out of what would seem like close to 100 people abducted, 35 in Kwara, 25 in Kebbi. Well, I don't know how many in Niger, but let's say give or take 70. 2 made it out. And the state government, I don't know if it's in a bid to paint itself in a good light, to exonerate itself, blaming the school for staying open even though there were advisories for them to stay shut. And I get it. When you get that kind of advice, yes, you should take heed. But this is not the time to blame anybody. It is not the time to blame anybody. Because what the school and the students asked for was very simple. The fulfillment of promises tied to a mandate. That promise is security of life and property. It's that simple. Well, as we have come to be accustomed to, eventually the terrorists will make demands. And maybe we will get to discover how many people are missing from Niger from the terrorists. Maybe you hear something like, we need so and so million for the 50 people we have. That's when we will not say, oh, okay, there's 50 that they have. I've lost words, expressions, emotions. Nigerians cannot complain anymore. Because whatever you say, you used it the last 5, 6, 7 times that this happened. The government is not doing anything. Remember last month, you said it. What is wrong with our security agencies? Try to remember 2 months ago, you used that same line. Change the service chiefs. No, this one just came in now. Remember? There is no variation of complaint. And I'll open the phone lines and people will call. If I'm able to specifically remember, I will very likely tell them the last time they used that same statement. That is what the Englishman calls sounding like a broken record. You have said it over and over and over and over and over again. It's like your parent, they keep advising you, they keep shouting. At some point, what they do, they will just, oh yeah, you don't do. They give up. Government at different levels are failing desperately. But come on. There was just an attack on Monday. Kebbi. The entire country was still grappling with the reality that 25 girls were abducted. Wednesday, another attack in Kwara, in a church. Within the same week. Then this morning, Niger. A country of particular concern that is still trying to defend its case in the US. Still trying desperately to fix its battered image. That means, at this point, it would seem like we are at the mercy of the terrorists. Because there is an over 90% chance that any operation they embark on, they will be successful. That's how it seems. That we will only rest when terrorists say, you know what, let this Friday be public holiday. We move on Tuesday. So between Friday and Tuesday, that's when we can have peace. If they decide Tuesday is the next time we are going, nobody will be in their way. That's what it means. And you want to prove to the world that there is no Christian genocide. It's not even about Christian genocide. It's not human genocide. These terrorists are after the human race. That's a form of genocide. What is your crime? You are a human being in Nigeria. And that qualifies you for abduction. Well, the police command in Niger State says a tactical team is now on ground to rescue the students abducted from St. Mary's Private Secondary School in Papiri, Kwara local government area. Police spokesperson Wasiu Abiodun says armed bandits attacked the school hostel around 2 a.m. today and took the students away. He says police tactical units, the military and other security agencies are already combing the surrounding forest to find them. So the next one, the bandits who kidnapped 35 people from the Christ Apostolic Church in Okeiga, Eruku, Ekiti local government area of Kwara State are reportedly asking for, wait for it, 100 million naira for each person. Family members and community leaders told newsmen on Thursday that the kidnappers have been contacting them using the phones of those taken during Tuesday evening's attack. The church secretary, Josiah Agbabiaka, says some families had already been contacted. However, the state police spokesman, SP Adetong Ejire Adeyemi, says the police have not received any official report about the ransom demand. Okay, so contact has been established. 100 million naira for each person. So that video that we saw, because I saw the video, there was a live stream, people were in church. They came, they shot. Reports claim that, of course, some people died there because they shot them. The people that they packed, 35 of them, each one of them, you're telling me that these bandits now are asking the families to raise 100 million naira for each one. Do you know the last time I heard that something cost 100 million naira? I think it was 2023 when we were going for the presidential election. I think they said the APC nomination form, or was it PDP? Someone should remind me, it was one of the big parties. They said their form for presidency was 100 million naira. That's to run for president. Meaning that with the way things are, everybody that was in that church is eligible to be president of Nigeria, because the cost of your head now is what it costs to run for presidency. That's what it is. If their families sell land, sell local government, sell... You know what? Let's do it like this. So the terrorists are asking for 3.5 billion naira. 100 million times 35, 3.5 billion. I want you to think about that figure for a bit and ask yourself, what gave these people the guts, right? I'm not a kidnapper, but let's imagine that I foolishly decide to become a kidnapper today. At least I might start with 2.5. What made these people, what gave them the audacity to demand 100 million naira per head? I will tell you, it's because they have demanded before and they've been paid. Maybe not 100 million, but you know how life is. Maybe they've demanded 20, people paid 30, going, 40 last price, 50, right? They kept raising the bar and people kept paying. Negotiations were made. They were not caught. So what did they say? If we can do 30, 40, 50, of course, if we push it to 100. Because humans by design are ambitious. It's the same way wherever you work, you're trying to increase your salary. You're a businessman, you want to maximize profit. The kidnappers too are saying, we can keep pushing it. Do you know what 3.5 billion naira can do? I looked it up today and I called some experts and asked them, what kind of project can 3.5 billion get you? And these were some of the things I got. It can build a standard 100 to 150 bed hospital, full construction and equipment, 3.5 billion naira. Emergency ward, theater suite, maternity diagnostic, ambulance, and solar backup. It can construct 15 to 20 kilometers of asphalt road, including drainage, culvert, and signage. 15 to 20 kilometers. Not very long, but it's a road that will go far. It can build 15 fully equipped school blocks. 15. Primary school blocks. 12 to 15 classrooms. Staff office, toilet, fencing. It can provide 50 to 70 solar-powered boreholes. It can build 500 units of low-cost housing. Acquire 200 new buses for public transport. That money can, to an extent, solve our transportation problems in River State. Construct a small market for about 2,000 traders. Build an ICT innovation hub. And this one will be interesting to Rivers people. It can set up a waste management and recycling plant. Fund a 20 to 25 megawatt solar power plant. That is what people who went and grabbed 35 people in church are asking for. Money that governments put in a budget. That's not the kind of money anybody just... That money is called allocation. Right? This is the kind of money that an assembly, whether the National Assembly or State Assembly, needs to approve before any government can spend it. That is what a couple of human beings that have guns bundle 35 people and are now asking for allocation. And government keeps saying, we are doing our best, we are doing this, we want to do. That's exactly where we are. I mean, we never advocate it, but if tomorrow somebody now says, you know what, why don't I just become a criminal? Will you blame them? Apparently, kidnappers are about to become billionaires. How did they do? What did they do? Do they have business idea? What did they invent? What did they create? Nope. They had guns and they went for people who did not have guns. Very simple. If you want to break down kidnapping and define it to somebody, those with guns taking those that don't have guns away. With that, you can become a billionaire. Moving on. On Thursday, I checked the calendar, and that was yesterday. What happened, Sam Chinedu? The U.S. House Subcommittee on Africa held a public hearing to review President Donald Trump's decision to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. U.S. Congressman Bill Huizenga at the hearing accused President Bola Tinubu's government of failing